Hello everyone. So today we are going to cover the introduction of the Terraform. So I hope after this video you are going to have a basic idea of the Terraform, and you will get to know about the Terraform architecture, Terraform different uses, and you will get some hands-on on the Terraform. So yeah, let's get started. So basically, these are the different topics which we are covering in today's session. So the first is what is infrastructure as a code and Terraform, what is used for. Then we are going to see Terraform architecture and its command. Then life cycle of Terraform. Then we are going to have a difference between the Terraform and Ansible. Then we are going to see like how we can install the Terraform and create the EC2 instance. So basically, yeah, we are going to cover some hands-on also, some small programs. So what is infrastructure as a code? So yeah, so you must be knowing like infrastructure. That means suppose if you want to set up any environment, okay, and starting from the S3 bucket, VPC, subnet, and EC2 instances, different servers. Okay, so all these components basically we called it as a infrastructure. Okay, so that infrastructure we have to create using the script or maybe using the code. So that's why it is called as a Terraform is an infrastructure as a code tool. Okay, so this Terraform, so this is the IAC. Okay, so this is codifies and manages underlying IT. Okay, then traditionally, basically, we create the in traditional approach, we create the instances or maybe the infrastructure using the manual process. Okay, so what it is, what is the drawback of that? Like suppose after some days that resource left the organization, or if some new resource has joined and then he wants to create the infrastructure or he wants to change that infrastructure, then it's very difficult to store that steps like what he has done and what he need to follow. Okay, and suppose in between if he miss any step, then yeah, so replicating that infrastructure, it would be really difficult. So basically that's why we are storing it as a in script, so that we can upload that code into GitHub, and then later on anybody can spin up the resources using those script. So yeah, so infrastructure enables the dev and operation teams to automatically install and configure and manage the infra. So these are the few advantages of the infrastructure as a code. So basically Terraform is infrastructure as a code. As I have already explained, you can spin up the whole infrastructure using the Terraform. So Terraform is a HashiCorp language, okay, and it's open source. So we can automate those infrastructure using scripts. So that's why it is called as a automation of that infrastructure. Then as I have already explained, like we can upload that script into Git, like in different version control, and then maybe later on also we can we want to spin up any resource, then we can do that. Then let me explain you. This is Terraform is a declarative language. So basically we do have two types of languages. One is the imperative and another is the declarative. So what is the imperative language? So imperative means you have to mention like how we have to do the process. So for example, if you want to if you are booking a cab and if you want to go from A source to B destination, okay, so you need to in imperative language, you need to tell the driver like yes, go straight, then take left, then take right, then go for 500 meters straight, and then the B will come. So in imperative language, basically you have to mention like how we are going to produce the output. Okay, so and so in declarative language, suppose if you want to travel from A to B, then how you gonna do that? It's like you just have to mention what is your destination, what is your end output. Okay, and everything will be handled by the Terraform. Okay, so that's why it is called as a declarative language. So in this case, you have to only mention what is your end output. So that's why it's very easy, and it's a like user friendly tool, the Terraform. So we'll move to the next slide. So basically, what is Terraform? So Terraform is an automation tool. So developed by HashiCorp, and it's written in the Go language. Then this tool is used to implement infrastructure as a code. So yeah, we can spin up the infrastructure, we can create the infrastructure, we can manage that infrastructure using this tool. Okay. Then using Terraform, we can automate the infrastructure in the cloud. So it's an advanced concept of Terraform. So yeah, so Terraform cloud is also there. So yeah, we will cover that in the next upcoming videos. Then it's an open source tool. Okay, so yeah, so it has an enterprise version and supports all cloud infra providers like AWS, Azure, then GPC, and then Kubernetes. So different types of providers it's providing. So yeah, so let's move to the next slide. So basically, now we'll move to the use cases of Terraform. So where we are going to use the Terraform. So there are two different things. Okay, the first is the managing of the infra. So and so in managing of the infra, what we are going to do. Suppose if you have already created the infrastructure, suppose you have a uh, some servers and Docker installed on it, and you have deployed microservices on it. Okay, so all those things you can manage using the Terraform. Okay, so you have already existing infra. Okay, so you can import that, and accordingly you can write the your configuration file, then you can apply that. So these are the command that Terraform init, Terraform plan, and Terraform apply. So we are going to see that in the upcoming slides. So basically you can manage those existing infra using the Terraform. So that's why we are called it's a one use case as a managing of the existing infrastructure. Then the next is like creating of the new infrastructure. So suppose if you want to you are just started a project, okay, and where you want to create an application, and you want to suppose set up an infrastructure from scratch. Okay, so like how you gonna do that? So how you are gonna manage this infra? So suppose, let's say if you want to spin up some servers and you want to deploy your microservices on it. So so you need to consider like what is my basic the first is like what platform I'm going to use. Suppose it's AWS, it's a cloud, it's a GPC, or it's Azure. So you have to decide that first. Okay, and then you are going to install servers on it, then you are going to install microservices on it. Okay, so basically creation of the new infrastructure from scratch can be done using the Terraform very easily. Okay, so yeah, let's move to the Terraform architecture. Okay, so basically you must be thinking like how Terraform is working, how its architecture is like that it's managing all the things. Okay, so basically Terraform has two main components. So first component is the core. This is the Terraform core. which takes two input. Okay, one is the tf config and the another is the state. So this in this tf config, okay, this is the first input source. So you have to write in this tf config, you need to write like what infrastructure you are expecting, okay, or what infrastructure needs to be created. So all those configuration you need to write here. Okay, so if you want to have two EC2 instances, you want two VPC, one S3 bucket. So what is the end output that you need to mention over here, the requirement. Then we have the state. Okay, so in this state, you will get like what is the current infrastructure of your environment. Okay, so this all those things, it's getting stored in this state. Okay, so what does this core is doing is like it will compare like what is the tf config, like what is the requirement, what is the requirement of the infrastructure that needs to be created with the what is the existing infrastructure we are already having. Okay, so based on that it will create the plan, and in this plan it will decide, so core will decide like whether we need to add an infrastructure, we need to update, or we need to delete. Okay, so all those things is gonna decide by core, you by comparing these two components. Okay, so suppose if you want to have the 5 servers, and in this in the state it will fetch like what is the current infrastructure. Okay, so in your current infrastructure already 3 servers are already there, so it will compare like okay, my requirement is like I want 5 servers and I already have 3 servers already present in my infrastructure. So what the core is core will do is like it will compare and it will only create the two new more infrastructure. Okay, and the second component is the provider. Okay, so provider is like in Terraform we do have a more than hundreds of providers. We do have AWS, Azure, GPC, then we do have a Kubernetes, we have a IaaS like infrastructure as a system. So all those things, so that would be the second component. The first one is the core and another is the provider. So let me explain you the different Terraform commands. Okay, so Terraform mostly works on the 3 commands. Okay, which one is the Terraform? So any source code, if you are executing it, you need to first apply the Terraform init. So in Terraform init, what it will do is like it will download the plugin, it will download the providers and onto your local, and then it will initialize that components. Okay, so that's why you need to apply the Terraform init. Then you have a Terraform refresh. So what this Terraform refresh will do is like it will give you the current state of the infrastructure. So if you apply like Terraform refresh, it will give you the, so it will query to the infrastructure. Okay, and will give you the current state of the infrastructure. Okay, then you need to apply the Terraform plan. So what it will do, it will create the plan. So it will compare what is the required output and what you have already created in your infrastructure, and based on that it will create the plan which needs to be executed. In this Terraform plan command, it will only create the plan and it won't get executed until you apply the Terraform apply command. So actual execution will done and resources will get created using the Terraform apply command. Then you need to apply the Terraform destroy. Okay, suppose if you want to destroy all the resources or any specific resource, you need to apply the Terraform destroy, so that resource will get deleted from your infrastructure. Okay, so this is the configuration file. Let me explain you over here. So and this is the provider. So I am going to show you like on the AWS side. So this is the name of the provider. So this is the region. You all must be knowing like you have to specify the region. So I have mentioned in this variable.tf. So these are the variable. Then which instance you are going to create. So yeah, so we are going to spin up the EC2 instance. So the name is AWS instance. Okay. So likewise, this is the desired state. This is the requirement you want it. You have to write it in main.tf. Okay. Next, go to the next slide. Okay, so what is the difference between the Terraform and Ansible? So you must be knowing, like we do have a different tools as a we can use different tools for infrastructure as a code. So Ansible is one of them. Okay, so basically, what is the difference between them? Okay, so Ansible is used to install and final the deployment of the applications. Okay, so basically Ansible is mostly it's a configuration. It's a um, it's a configuration management tool. Okay, Ansible is a procedural, and it's good for the perfect for the traditional automation. Okay, and like if using Ansible, one can deploy apps at the top of the infrastructure. So basically Ansible uses to configure that application rather than the managing that infrastructure. So, and it's a bit old tool relative to the Terraform. So it's a mature tool. If you compare with the Terraform, Terraform is relatively new. So you will get so many changes. I mean, you need to find what is the stable version, and then you need to install it. So every time you will get many changes in their Terraform versions. Okay. So basically Terraform is used, as I have already mentioned, it's a initial provisioning. You can configure your infrastructure. Then Terraform is a declarative. Okay, so I have already explained like what is the declarative and imperative approach. So yeah, then so Terraform is perfect for configuring cloud infrastructure. So you can configure also using the Terraform. Then using Terraform, we can deploy all the resources like VPC, load balancer, EC2. So all those resources can spin up using the Terraform. Okay, so basically, DevOps engineer role is a combination between the Terraform and the Ansible. So Terraform will mostly will help into creation of that infrastructure, and Ansible will help you to configure or maybe configuration management of that and that infrastructure. So this is the difference between them. So yeah, so here you can see like so Terraform will comes over here. So Terraform will work as an initial infrastructure, then it can manage that infrastructure, and setup also you can do that using the Terraform. Whereas Ansible will play a role of managing of that application also. So yes. So how you can install the Terraform is like this is the website. You need to download the Terraform zip file, and then you need to install using these steps. Okay, so I have already installed that on my machine, and then we are moving it to the actual hands-on. Okay, so this is the another infrastructure. You can see like I'm going to show you the like how you can spin up the EC2 instances using Terraform. So thank you. Let's move to the actual hands-on part. Okay, so before going ahead, let me explain you. So this is the documentation of the Terraform. Okay, so you will find out on terraform.io. So it's the documentation is, they have done this documentation so nicely that you will be really find it comfortable using it. Okay, and using this documentation, you can easily spin up any kind of resource. So suppose let me show you. So suppose on google.com I'll put AWS S3 Terraform. Okay, so see here you will get the module or the code of the yeah. So here you will get the code. You can just copy paste and using in your code, and then just spin up your resources. Okay, so is that much easy. So here you can see like resource. So what resource we are going to spin up is like S3 bucket. So this is the resource. Then this B is like what Terraform is going to refer this resource as a B. Okay, then this is the bucket. The name of the bucket is this. Then access control is like private, and versioning is enabled or not enabled. So these are the things you just need to mention. So if you go down here in the parameters section, yeah, so you can see like there are some parameters which are optional. So even if you don't pass those parameters, that is fine. There are some options, I mean parameters, those are compulsory and you need to provide that. So yeah, so this documentation is really nice. You can go through it and it's that much easy. Like you can just have AWS S3 Terraform, or maybe you can write down AWS VPC. Yes, you need to go here. You can just, yeah, see. Okay, so now let's move to the hands-on. Let me explain you what. Okay, so this is my code. Okay, so what are the different things I have mentioned here is like I'm going to spin up the resources using the AWS cloud. So my provider is the AWS. Then the region is AP South 1. I'm going to spin up the resources on the Mumbai region. So this is the Mumbai region. Okay, then see, so you can provide here the access key and secret key, but that is not recommended at all. You should not I mean make it open to public. So what I have done is like on your local in this folder, okay, you have the AWS configurations mentioned. So you can go to this credential file and you can set up your profile. Okay, so I have set up my profile into that, and using that we are going to have we are going to use my access key and secret key. Okay, so if you want, you can just write here access key and secret key if you don't want to mention in the credentials, but yeah, that is not recommended. Then this is the Terraform. So as I have already mentioned, like you need to save your state. So what is the current state of the infrastructure? So that is getting stored in this file. Okay, so that this .tf state file, you need to store it in some S3 bucket, or you can store it in your local also. So you need to create some local folder and mention the path over here. As of now, I am storing it into the S3 bucket. So this is the name of that I mean file. Okay, and that bucket I have created in this region, and I have encrypted as true. And yes, the profile name is the DevOps hint. So I have created this file already. Let me show you. So this is the file which I have already created. Okay, so my state files will get stored over here in this bucket. So if you go inside, so you can see this terraform.tf state file. And you should not delete this file. You should not touch this file. Otherwise your code will get messed up. So ideally you should not touch this file. Then first I'm trying, I'll show you like how to create the S3 bucket. So I have already shown you the, okay. then C. So this is the resource name which I am going to spin up, S3 bucket. Then this is the reference name. This is the bucket. And yeah, so environment is the testing. And these are the tags. So yep. And let me show you. Okay. So here I'm going to, as of now, commenting this. Okay. So as I have already mentioned, like we need to, so all the Terraform have only 2 commands, 3 commands, you know, the hands-on of the Terraform. Okay. So this is the provider, which I have mentioned here. So this is the, I'm going to spin up the resources on AWS cloud. So I have mentioned the provider as the AWS. Then the region is the South, AP South one. So this is the Mumbai region. I'm going to spin up on that region. So yeah, so here you can directly mention the access key and secret key, but that is not recommended. You should not expose your credentials. Okay, so what I have done is like I have set up that profile in this .aws/credentials file. So you can also do that. You can keep your credentials in this file, and then you can name that particular profile. Suppose I have mentioned here as the DevOps hint, and you can directly use it over here. So as I've already mentioned, like Terraform save that what is the current state of the file. Okay, what is the current state of the infrastructure? So that is going to save in this .tf state file, and we need to store that. Okay, so we need to create the location of that. So generally that file is getting stored, that file is getting created in S3 bucket, or maybe you can create that in local also. So you can mention the path over here, the local path. What I have done, I have created this DevOps hint one bucket, and this Terraform state file will get stored in that. Okay, so whenever you can you want to see, you can just go and then you can check. But ideally you should not messed up with this file. You should not touch, you should not edit. Okay, so that is recommended. Then next is like I'm going to spin up S3 bucket. So what is the resource? This is the resource, AWS S3 bucket. Okay, so this is the as it is, I'm using it from the Terraform documentation. Then this is what the Terraform is going to refer. Okay, then the tags. So I have given the 2 tags as a name and the environment. Okay, and so here you can see like if you want to see that what my S3 bucket is going to get created, what its ID. So you can show that, you can display that using this output variable. So you need to create that output variable, can give any name, and in the value you can mention like AWS S3 bucket. So you can just copy paste over here, and then this name and the ID. So if you go here and do this, so you will get the different properties of that. So I'm going to use the ID. So this you will get it on the console output. Okay, you can save that in the output.tf file also. So I mean in one way you can have a look on the all the variables that is going to get created. Okay, then okay, let me explain you about the variables. So in any programming language there are, I mean we generally use the variables. So variable, it means it value gets changed, value get varies. Okay, so here also you can see like I have mentioned the bucket as a variable, then ACL as a variable, region as a variable. Okay, so either you can give it over here, directly over here, or suppose if some value is getting changed. Okay, um, and you don't want to hard code that value over here, then you can do that in variable.tf. Okay, so suppose if I have I want to create I'm going to create the 2-3 environments like dev, test, and stage. Okay, and I want to give the specific name like that. So suppose if over here I have mentioned the environment name as testing. Okay, and suppose if after some days I have changed that value, so I have to do that change in all the programs. Okay, so instead of that, what you can do is like you can create that as a variable. Okay, and that variable you can mention in the variable.tf file. So let me show you that also. So here, let me do that. So here you can see I have mentioned the name as var.environment name. So let me show you what I have mentioned in the variable environment.name. So here in variable.tf, I have created variable name as the environment name. I have created name. Then you need to mention the description, what this variable is doing, the type. So you have as every programming languages, we do have a different types of the variables like string, integer, and etc. So you can mention that type over here, and the default value. So if you are not mentioning anything, if you are not providing anything, then this default value get applied to that instance. Okay, so this is the thing. I am creating the environment name at runtime. I mean, based on that. Okay, so I don't want to use it as a default value. So that's why I have, what I have created is like, I have created the stage.tfvars file. So in .tfvars file, you can mention the specific name. So here I have mentioned the environment name as stage. Okay, you can create another .tfvars file and mention the different parameters that is going to change. Okay, or that is going to vary based on the environments. So you can create the another variable or another file where you can just mention prod.tfvars file, dev.tfvars file, and all the variables you can mention over here like region, then the id, and etc etc. Okay, so similar way you can do that over here. So this is the thing. Here I'm going to spin up the EC2 instance. Okay, so let me explain this also. So this is the AWS instance. So I'm going to spin up EC2. So this is the type of AWS instance. So we are mentioning as it is mentioning in the Terraform document. Then this is reference for the Terraform. Okay, what AMI you are going to spin up? So just directly go to you can go to here, you can go, then go to EC2 instance. If you don't know anything, what AMI you want to create, and okay, so let me show you launch instance. So see this AMI ID, you are going to use it. Okay, I have used the same over here, the 7AE. Then the count. Okay, so you can spin up any number of resources, so you can just mention the count over here, or else if you are spinning only one, you can just skip this. So yeah, and this is the what var.environment name. So that staging is going to get created. So let me show you. You just open the terminal, new terminal. Okay, then let me do this Terraform destroy. So yeah, you have to, I mean, I'm going to delete all the resources which I have created already. So let me do that. Yeah, it will take time. Okay, so let me do that here. So you can see like I don't have any instances as of now in my machine. Okay, see over here, no instance, and these are the only buckets which I have created earlier at 12:22, and these are the earlier created buckets. Okay, so now what I am going to do is like, let me this clear the screen. I'm going to use Terraform init. Okay, so you can see like Terraform has been successfully initialized. Then what we need to apply is like Terraform plan. Okay, so like, yeah, so we are going to use that stage.tfvars file. So I'm going to use this command Terraform plan. Okay, and then as I am using the variables and I want to pass this as a variable so that it will take environment name as a stage. Okay, so I'm using this. So in plan, what it will do is like it will calculate, it will compare what is the current state. Okay, so in our current state, we don't have anything. So it will create one S3 bucket and one EC2 instance. So generally it compares what is the current state and what is our requirement mentioned over here. Okay. So this is the output. I have already shown like I have created the output variable over here. You can see S3 bucket. Okay. And this is the, okay. So what it is mentioned is like known after apply. So we have not executed. I mean, resources have not created yet. So that's why it's mentioned as a known after apply. Okay. And the another output is EC2 output. So over here, so this is the thing that's getting applied. Okay. So now let me apply the Terraform apply. So in plan, until it gets executed, let me explain you. So if you go over here in the console, you what you have applied is like Terraform plan. So it will calculate in plan, it will calculate and it will create the plan what needs to be created. Okay. So what it's first is creating the AWS instance. So it's going to spin up that and it will get the values after we are applying the apply button. Okay. So this is going to get created all the things and this bucket will get also be created. Okay. So yeah, so it will ask you like, do you want to really create this? So you need to pass this yes. So here you can observe like what are the different instances is getting created. So my S3 bucket got created and EC2 instance is getting created. See, so two resources added. One is the S3 bucket and another is the EC2 instance. And you can see like, as I have mentioned, the output variables, you can see here the S3 bucket. I have mentioned the okay, so this is the bucket, this is the bucket ID. Okay, and we can see, we can observe that. So this is the Okay, you can see like our bucket is got created. See this SRE Terraform. Okay, I can show you. So this bucket has got created. You can observe the timing. Earlier it was not there. So 16:06 on July 3. So this is the current time. Okay, and one more resource we have got spin up, that is the EC2 instance. And so we'll go to EC2 instance. So already I have shown you like there were no running instances. Now we can see. So yeah, so this resource we have terminated earlier, and this resource got created stage. Okay, so you can see all those things. Okay, so this resource got created. This is the public ID, this is the private ID, this is the VPC. So all those things you can get. If you want, you can just create the another output.tf file, and you can write like AWS instance .ec2 example .id .name .public IP. Okay, so all those things you will get it over here in the output.tf file. So yeah, so this is the thing I can show you like in the page. So we have mentioned everything over here. So yeah, so that's it for today's session. So if you have any queries or something, just reach out to DevOps and channel. Okay, thank you so much.